Uncle Mike said he'd drive straight to Tokyo without stopping, but he ended up going into every restaurant he saw, hunting for food like crazy. When leaving the hotel, he was full of energy. Yesterday's driving fatigue had completely vanished. Passing through Ise City, he wanted to visit the shrine. Right after coming out, his stomach started rumbling. He discovered an udon shop on the commercial street. The meat and raw egg udon looked luxurious. Golden noodles piled up like a small mountain. Thick slices of beef covered the top. A half-cooked egg yolk wobbled in the center. Golden fried shrimp lay glistening on the side. Uncle stirred it with chopsticks and slurped the noodles loudly. The thick udon had a satisfying chew. Egg liquid coated every strand of noodle. The beef slices released their meaty aroma in his mouth. The saltiness of the sauce and sweetness of the egg perfectly merged. The crispy shell of the fried shrimp crumbled at first bite. The shrimp meat inside was sweet and bouncy. He discovered he could take a ferry to cut through from Toba to Arako in Aichi Prefecture, bypassing traffic jams and heading straight to Shizuoka. An hour and a half later, he reached Hamamatsu City. Just when you wanted to rest by the ocean, he got hungry again. Since he'd reached Lake Hamana, he had to eat eel. The two-color eel rice bowl left Uncle facing a difficult choice. The kabayaki eel was brushed with caramel-colored sauce. It gleamed under the lights. It gave off a sweet, rich aroma. The white grilled eel maintained its original color. It looked fresh and clean. The kabayaki eel hit with sweetness first. Then the salty richness of the sauce surged up. The eel meat was tender and boneless. It practically melted on his tongue without chewing. Sprinkling fresh Japanese pepper made it even more fragrant. The white grilled eel highlighted the fish's natural fresh flavor. Dipping it in wasabi instantly hit his nasal passages. Dipping it in yuzu vinegar was tangy and appetizing. Two completely different tastes, but both were fantastic. The kabayaki oyster rice was a pleasant surprise. Plump oysters were coated in eel sauce, stir-fried together with onions and orange peel. When the oysters burst, juices splashed everywhere. The ocean's sweetness mixed with the sauce's richness, creating an unprecedented taste experience. Finally, he poured in kelp clear soup to make akazuke. The rice grains absorbed the broth and became plump. Every bite was a warm embrace. Uncle tasted the complimentary strawberries for dessert. The bright red fruit was bursting with juice. The sweet and sour taste cleansed the oiliness from his mouth. The 3-day journey from Kyoto to Tokyo, Uncle experienced the scenery of the ancient Takedo route. He and the Mini went from strangers to familiar, from resistance to acceptance. He bought roasted sweet potatoes as roadside snacks. The campfire roasted sweet potatoes had charred black skin. When broken open, the bright yellow flesh steamed with heat. One bite was so hot it made his tongue tremble, but the sweet taste was impossible to stop eating. The car overheated and broke down midway.
大丈夫かこんなところで参ったな
Uncle played with yesterday's puzzle toy. The more he played, the angrier he got, and finally gave up completely. At 4 in the afternoon, he got back on the road. He successfully delivered the car to its destination, although he had to say goodbye to the Mini. These 3 days had built a deep friendship.
達者だな